Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox on Tap.
Tony, my first reaction is just fuck yes, let's go.
Sox versus the Twins. That's where it all starts. It all starts taking care of business in-house in the Central Division.
That's right, I'm a meatball.
You got to bring that top button swag, baby.
It is always great to beat the Cubs.
And I'm a homer, so I always say they're gonna.
Dallas Keuchel Lansing got some beards that you should be afraid of.
What everybody said when he gets out there, it's me versus the other guy, and I'm going to beat him. So I just love that mentality. It's cool and fucking tough.
Steve, would you say that Tony is mad online?
I would definitely say that.
The White Sox winner.
White Sox fans, welcome in to the Sox on Tap post-game show. Getting you kicked off here in August. It's Jonnie Nani alongside Sean Roberts. Sox fall 2-1 tonight. Sean, not a good way to hashtag set the tone.
No, in fact, Nani, I was doing some research during the game, and I was wondering, because it just always seems like when it comes to a series that the White Sox lose game one of the whatever series they're getting ready to play. And I counted before Tim Anderson grounded into a double play 20. So we're now at 21 losses out of the 51 losses this year have come game one of a series. That's almost half your losses have started game one of a series. That's not how you would or like what we like to say here, set the tone. It's not good. It's not good.
That's terrible, Sean. And you know, you had kind of brought that up to me, and it was like one of the last things I said on our Sunday Funday show just yesterday. I said, I'm sick and tired of losing the first game of the series here. You do it against the Athletics there. Obviously, come out and do it tonight. I wanted to just see that, them to step on the gas here. And this, like we'd say, should be their bum slaying tour. And on it right now, what are they now at 500? I'm trying to think. Add up the games.
Yeah,
1-1 in Colorado. And then you had 2 losses between the A's opener, this opener, and then 2 wins to close the A's series, right?
Yeah, they're 500 right now, and now 4-5 against the Kansas City Royals this year. Okay. That's just abysmal.
Yeah, it really is. It's tough to even stomach here. So that's what we're talking about here on the Sox on Tap post-game show. Make sure you subscribe to On Tap Sportsnet on YouTube. Jump in the comments here. We know you got some frustration. Feel free to vent it out in there, and we feature them during this live show. So, Sean, as we set up this matchup here, initially thought it was going to be Brad Keller, but guess what? Nope, surprise. Daniel Lynch is off the IL to shove his, 5+ scoreless against the White Sox. So something that he's done earlier in the season. Michael Kopech on the other side pitches a decent baseball game, but a couple long balls end up being the deciding factor in this one. Sean, tell me what you said right before we jumped on, because outside of the White Sox offense, what did you say about this game?
It was boring. It
was actually a pretty damn good baseball game.
Yeah, no, it was. Listen, there was boring to it, but no, it was a good baseball game, and I said even before, like, if the White Sox offense wasn't just god-awful, I could sit there and go, man, that was a really good baseball game. Like, it sucks, obviously, that the Sox lost, but that's a good baseball game. I much prefer pitching duels than that's just because I'm a pitcher at heart. So for me, anytime you get a 2-0, a 1-0, 2-1 type ball game, that's right up my alley. But when it comes to the White Sox, obviously I want as many runs as possible, and they don't do that. So, yeah, no, it was a really good baseball game. It just you can't afford to score 1 run now in August against the Kansas City Royals when you're chasing games.
Right, and obviously all of the surrounding factors. You get both the Twins and the Guardians recording walk-off wins tonight. Would have been nice for the White Sox to be able to join them. But other than that, when you're talking about, I think, you record 10 hits tonight, but only 1 extra base hit? I want to say there's 1 double in there, Andrew Vaughn.
Andrew Vaughn, and then Pito got the line drive that was caught, and then guess what? A manager that was like, hey, this guy's getting hit, that's back-to-back line drives, let's pull him.
Right. Yeah.
Amazing what happens.
Yeah, man, amazing what that happens. Yeah. And you know what I think is really frustrating about this is Michael Kopech looked like he was like inching back towards some of the earlier in the season kind of stuff for Michael Kopech. He was, hitting up with the fastball, getting up to 98 pretty consistently. So that was a positive sign. Like I had mentioned kind of in the intro, It's a little unfortunate with the 2 solo shots that he allowed. And sure, there were a little bit of hangers there. But at the same time, you look at that and you say, this White Sox team against a rebuilding last place Kansas City Royals team, you can't just score 1 run. That's unacceptable.
No, and Michael pitched really well tonight. The story of the game was 2 breaking balls that didn't break. And outside of that, it was good to see him. He got to the 7th inning tonight. I think he finished with exactly 100 pitches. If I have that correctly, but that's what we like to see out of Michael. They finally let him go a little bit, and he's been struggling where his pitch count gets really up there in the 4th and 5th inning, and maybe the 6th he's not seeing that inning. But you want to see our starting staff start to go, especially with our bullpen the way it is right now. Our starters need to go for sure 6 and into the 7th. It helps tremendously, and especially in game 1 of a series where, man, now your back's against the wall. You can't lose series. You can't lose games within the division, so you got to go after these next 2. But it was good to see Michael. He looked really good tonight outside of, again, 2 pitches.
Yeah, you got some bullpen commentary coming up here in a little bit. Just continuing Michael Kopech real quick. It was good to see, like you'd said, the length on that, going up to the 100-pitch mark there, going 7 total. His line finished 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs that we just discussed a little bit there. And he also escaped a couple of jams. We got out of a big double play. He was able to induce in the 5th inning to get out of a jam there. And then I believe in his last inning there in the 7th to kind of working through that, whereas earlier in the season that may have been a situation where he's pulled or whatever, so it was good to see him kind of persevere through that. On the bullpen, not the squad that you would like to see or expect. However, Jose Ruiz and Jimmy Lambert both able to get it done with scoreless outings in their respective innings, and I think this just kind of points though back to, I think it was Pinos on Twitter, and he had said, so now, what is it? Hendricks, Graveman, and Kelly all not available on back-to-back days. I know there was some issue with the Kelly contract and then the Hendricks coming back from injury, but dude, that's not saying that, obviously it was not the difference tonight, but however, you spend all this money on these guys. Come on. You want them available.
Nani is, obviously with the trade deadline coming up and everyone talking about what the White Sox need. And I think I forget who I responded to, but I was like, just give me a bullpen arm that can go back-to-back days at this point. I don't care who it is. Give me someone that's like, yeah, I pitched 15 pitches yesterday. Guess what? Throw me out there again. I'll throw another 15. Because I want to sit here and go, yeah, back in April or May, I can see this thought process, right? Like, you don't want to burn through your bullpen arm so much, so you can give a day here and there. Guys, we're in August, and you're chasing games, and this is all your own doing. So this whole, we got to conserve guys' arms for what? For finishing 3rd place in the worst division in baseball.
So they're good at golf for the off season.
But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I know you were kind of being facetious to a sense, but the other day in the group chat, we're like, burn the arms, man. Burn it, but you have to, because guess what? You put yourself in this situation.
Yeah.
You put yourself in this situation to where you are chasing games now, and every single game matters. When in reality, what the process should be is we can sit here and go, hey, you know what? We lost game 1 against the Royals, but guess what? We're 8.5 up in the division. We're in August, trade deadline. That's what we should be talking about. Instead, we're chasing now 3 games to 2 teams with the Twins and Guardians. And it's just, it sucks, man. It sucks. And this team, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to win the next 2 games, and they'll be 2 games over 500, and then they'll drop 2. And it's what they are. We're in baseball hell. I'll continue to say this. They are a 500 baseball team.
Yeah, dude, we had specifically made the point about, we had kind of admonished the scoreboard watching and stuff like that, but you go and you'd still go and look at it because those do affect standings here. Well, guess what? Although the Twins do have a tougher schedule the second half than they did in the first half, kind of like the opposite of the White Sox, right? They have an easy patch right now playing the Tigers, and we knew that there was probably not going to be a whole lot of help coming from either of these teams, so you can't even take advantage of that when you've got the even worse team there in the Kansas City Royals coming into your ballpark, and you're not even you dropped below 500 against them this year, just terrible all around, man. They're talking about the offense here because this was obviously a point of why they we're not able to win this baseball game. Like I'd mentioned, the constant singles instead of, hitting some extra base hits. Only run that came across home plate was a sacrifice fly and a pinch hit situation for Gavin Sheets. So props to him. He also got a single to at least ignite a rally, or at least try to in the ninth.
Gavin did his job, got the ball in the air. I mean, how many times this year have we? That was the first. I just sent this text in the group chat. I think Jay Cutta was the one that sent out the tweet. That was the first sacrifice fly for the White Sox at home since June 26.
Jeez, yeah. If
you want to know the story of the 2022 Chicago White Sox, that stat right there, that's mind blowing.
Right. Yeah. And like, so that was, obviously the one sort of semi-positive incident here, but other than that, it's like you still stranded 2 in that inning earlier in the game. You waste a leadoff double by Vaughn in the 6th inning. And that's when you also chased the starter, Daniel Lynch, from the game. And then going back to the 3rd, you stranded 1st and 3rd. Granted, it was a, 2-out situation there, but you still got the runners there and then just weren't able to bring them home. That is not opportunistic. One of my favorite words is opportunistic. They were the opposite of that tonight, Sean.
No, this team is the complete opposite of opportunistic. You get a leadoff double, and is it sad that we sit here and you get a leadoff double and you just know that run's probably not scoring?
Right. Yeah.
But I'm to the point where anything positive that happens offensively without a home run, like a leadoff double, that's great. Yeah. We're not going to get him in. You couldn't put it over the fence, so we're not scoring a run. But it just, this offense, day in, day out, it's just, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it, from the lack of power, from the lack of, how many warning track fly balls does this team hit? It's just the run production. We all know the answer, but it's not going to happen. And that answer is someone on that bench needs to go. So, and I'm not even talking about Tony.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about Tony. But, you have to shake something up at some point, right? And they'll wait till the offseason. They're not going to do it now unless this team just completely plummets here in the next few weeks. But it's just – it's a weird mentality. It's not fun. It's not. We all know ball go far, team go far, and this team doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, and that just shows you where they're at, just stagnating here, right around the 500 mark. And like you said, now that's as we look ahead to the rest of this, it's okay, yeah, they lost this one, so what are they going to do? Probably turn it around and win 2 in a row. But then, we got to play Texas, and they'll find a way to squeak 2 against us, even though they're in kind of sell-off mode there. So it's just frustrating as all hell. Complete summary of
the fan base
of that tonight.
When the fan base can start predicting how series are going to go because you literally every series is identical. You are who you are, right? And I want this team to somehow get out of the funk, but they don't sell me on anything, man.
Yeah, that's the title of the show, Sean. It's losers lose. They were the loser club tonight, and they lost. They lost baseball games. So, all right, that wasn't the only White Sox related thing going on today. There was a trade, so let's get this done, and we'll preview the final game here, Sean. The next game of the series. So, it involves White Sox sending Reese McGuire and a player to be named later or cash considerations to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for left-handed reliever Jake Diekman here. Interesting sort of deal, I thought, because obviously we knew that the left-handed bullpen spot was an absolute need, just given Bummer's timeline with Tanner Banks being the only one there, extremely, shielded in his usage there. But Diekman has, I think it's stuff that can play. However, the command can be an issue with him. Sean?
Yeah, he's gonna fit right in with this. He's gonna fit right in with this bullpen because very rarely do they come in and throw strikes. So from a command standpoint, let's go. Welcome to the White Sox, baby. But it's a left-handed arm. I did some research on him. Okay, great. It's not some earth-shattering move. I don't think we were expecting anything earth-shattering at this trade deadline. So obviously we want to see we need more, but you can only do so much with what you have. And the unfortunate thing is the White Sox farm system outside of like 2 prospects it's not that good. But Reese McGuire, that was a move that was going to have to be made. And shout out Zebby Zavala, who he earned a spot. If there's someone who's like came out and earned some shit this year, it's been Zebby, and it's good to see. He's a good story. I enjoy watching him catch. I enjoy watching him hit. Dude hustles. But yeah, I mean, this move's not earth shattering. It's something that needed to be done. We needed a left-handed arm out of the bullpen, and welcome to the shit show.
Yeah. Right. It'll be interesting to see. I wonder if there can be some turnaround, because there were stretches too. And obviously I know the recent one is kind of what gets highlighted when you talk about Diekman with some of the issues in July. But however, before that, there were some numbers that said that he has some strikeout shit, essentially, is what I'm getting at there. So we'll just be interesting to see how he fares when he puts on the black and white. So changing the color of his socks there, Sean. As I look at that from the Reese McGuire standpoint, I agree wholeheartedly with Sebi earning his spot. And shit, dude, Sebi's the number 1 catcher on this team right now. I'm sorry. I have been a big Yaz fan. I was really hoping. I think he was going to be an X factor for the second half. Right now, that's not the case. He offered some hope in his rehab assignment, starting to drive the ball a little bit. And then when he came back, it was okay. He's still getting his feet wet here, but he was hitting singles, right? He was bringing in some runs. And then now you go and have a night like tonight, and he looks terrible. So Sebi Zavala is your number 1 catcher right now.
Yeah, Nani is funny. I was about to text you after his last at bat tonight, and I was just about to say, I can't take your boy anymore. I'm about yazzed out, man. About yazzed out.
It sucks because you kind of like thought that single stretch might have been like the start of like I said, getting it back into it, and it's like, okay, at least he was doing something to help.
Line drive here, line drive. I mean, to the point where he's coming to the dish, and you're going, well, it's an out.
Yeah,
like I'm tired of the little ground ball or the pop up, because it's all it is. It's he'll get 1 base hit here in the next couple games, and we'll think, oh, is that it? Is that the at bat, right? And it's this team, man, lack of consistency with everything.
Right. So we kind of trailed into that from the trade talk. So obviously we're, less than 24 hours from the deadline here, Sean. Any thoughts on sort of needs here? Obviously the White Sox, that was the only trade as so far tonight that has been pulled off. Who knows? Maybe Twitter's a buzz with something. I saw some other teams making some other moves, but I feel like tomorrow is going to be a hectic day. However, as I texted one of my friends during the game, and unfortunately, I think it's going to be a day with a lot of activity around the league, and the White Sox only add in for maybe another just kind of meh arm and then a flyer of a bat. That's what I predict. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. But hey, at least we'll know we'll have a seat at the table with every guy in the league. We were there. We were in talks. Fell through. They had a better package. Blah blah blah. Because that's what we get with every single thing that happens. So seat at the table tomorrow, quite a bit, and we'll end up with a reliever. Like I don't know, just
another arm.
To be fair, we need any arm we can get right now. Yeah. So, like, I understand that aspect of things. But yeah, flyer of an outfielder. We won't be addressing any infield situation. And as far like second base, I think Josh Harrison. I like what Josh Harrison's brought to the club.
You've turned him around, dude. After writing that DFA piece in like late May.
Well, like if like 3 months ago, I was like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, this has got to stop. Stop playing him, please. I'll take him any day over at second base over Leury Garcia. And the unfortunate thing is that's a roster spot that something could happen with, but it's not going to happen because who the hell is they're not going to eat that money of Leury. And I like Leury on the team. I just don't like Leury playing every single day. So I don't see any impact moves coming for the White Sox. Nothing big. I would be absolutely shocked if they were to do something big. Because the thing for them, because of lack of farm system, if you are going to do something big, you're subtracting from the major league roster at this point. And if we know anything about this organization, they are very bullish on their roster and thinking that everything is enough with what they have in house.
Right.
So
that's a good point. I was just about to bring that up. So it's not a complete defense of Rick Hahn, because obviously you just want your team to be the one that's converting on deals, right, and making the impact moves, especially when you see all the other teams adding flashy pieces for what should be World Series runs, and we're in the middle of our contention window. However, he does not have a whole hell of a lot to work with in terms of prospect pool to offer up. So
no, and we don't know what the hell's going on with Luis Robert. We don't know, like, I mean, maybe they do, and they're just not saying anything. But there's just don't expect much tomorrow.
Right. Well, yeah. What is it? If Luis Robert is healthy at some point in the next couple of weeks, then it's that's better than any trade deadline.
We'll get the Rick Hahn, media press conference, whatever he's doing, and don't expect anything big tomorrow.
Right, and then also the kind of the way it goes when guys come over to the White Sox. Anyone that they do add to, you can just expect immediate regression for as well. Right. Like, remember Cesar Hernandez last year tore it up in the first half. Yeah. Actually had to pop, and then
Cesar Hernandez was like, "Oh man, what a perfect move for this team! This is exactly what they needed." And he was absolute trash.
And then Craig Kimbrell, dude, he was an all-star first half. He really did have.
He was the best reliever in baseball in the first half.
Yeah, and then he comes over and that whole sequence. So totally looking forward to that. All right, God. Sean, that wraps it up. That's the only trade that we know of right now. We'll try to get you a trade deadline special here at Sox on Tap in hopefully a little less than 24 hours here. But until then, there will be another game taking place at 35th Shields. White Sox and Royals doing battle once again. It's Lucas Giolito and Brad Keller was bumped back. Obviously supposed to start tonight, and now he's bumped back for the Royals with the return for Daniel Lynch tonight. Gotta say, I'm nervous going into a Geo day, Sean, and nothing's changed on that front for me.
No, the gelato's been melting fairly quickly. The last few starts, I as bad as the beginning of the Colorado start was, he did bounce back, and I thought he kept the team in the game, and that's what he needs to do. He's not an ace. I think that's become very noticeable. I think he's a 3-4 moving forward. Guy that you can keep in the rotation, but I don't think he's starting game 1 of a playoff series. I don't think he's starting game 2 of a playoff series. So that big starter money that he was looking for, he's not going to get. And maybe that's what the White Sox have seen this entire time, and they were just kind of waiting. I don't know. But anyway, Lucas going on the mound tomorrow. He'll give up a couple long balls. It's just, does the White Sox offense show up?
Right. Yeah, that's a big question for me, too, because I do want to give him credit that he did settle down after that first inning. But obviously, he already spotted them 3 in that first inning in his last time out when he had faced the Colorado Rockies. So, man, I really hope the bats wake up. That is the only answer here, and that's the answer down the stretch of the season if they are going to make some noise for that offense to really perform up to their potential. Because we had talked about a few guys here that are not doing it, and i.e. Yaz, some of the other power bats that you'd expect more from. So that's going to be the determinant of this game, of the series, of the rest of the season, Sean. It would be great if that weekend stuff could have carried over, and then we would have felt like, okay, maybe they are finally starting to find a groove and hit the ball out of the ballpark at home. But tonight it was a big step back, in my opinion. So be interesting to see any predictions, thinking how this thing's going to go down.
I mean, like I said, I think Lucas gives up a couple bombs and we all get frustrated on Twitter, but I think he keeps the team in the game. We have to out-homer every team that we play at home, and we don't do that enough. So, unfortunately, I do think we fall tomorrow. I hate saying that, especially to Brad Keller, but this team, I see them losing tomorrow, and I see them winning the next game, and they'll continue to just be a 500 club. I'm trying to be realistic, because tonight just gave you no hope, right? No, tonight's a night. And not to go off of last year or anything like that, but tonight's a night where the White Sox put up 7 runs last year, or even the year before. You get a lefty on the mound, no matter how good he's working, or
even if they found themselves in that spot trailing late, they would have had a miraculous rally.
Yeah, in the 5th or 6th inning, they all of a sudden they put a 4 or 5 run rally together, and you're going, here we go, they woke up.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the difference is, in previous years when they were struggling early on in games, they would find that 5th or 6th, 7th inning where they would put a crooked number on the board.
Yeah.
Not doing that this year.
There's a little bit of magic. Doesn't feel like it, it. Me and Tony talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't feel like they have it, especially after tonight. But let's hope the luck changes tomorrow. Like I said, 7-10 start there. And obviously the trade deadline will have passed then. So we'll keep posted with any moves that the White Sox make here at Sox on Tap. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go and follow us on social media at Sox on Tap, at On Tap Sportsnet. Visit ontapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. And make sure you subscribe to On Tap Sportsnet on YouTube so you can join the conversation for these shows live. All right, Sean, until next time, White Sox forever.
White Sox forever.